Noorsign Books presents Ramadan Miracles, Stories of Faith Found in the Ordinary. 15,000 Steps, Part 1, The Weight He Hides. Amman, Jordan. Tariq is a former foreman, a diabetic, and a father who will climb any hill to feed his children. But as he carries charity packages through the streets of Ramadan, he's about to learn that the heaviest weight is not the rice on his back, but the truth he hides from the ones he loves. The alarm did not ring. It shivered. A thin vibration on the wooden nightstand, just louder than the old refrigerator humming in the kitchen. Tariq's hand found the phone in the dark before it could sound, fingers closing around the cheap plastic and silencing it with a practiced thumb. 3:40. His body already knew. He lay on his back, staring at the faint rectangle of streetlight on the ceiling. The apartment was quiet. Somewhere below, a par coughed twice and died. Yesterday's lentil soup still lingered faintly in the air. On the wall opposite the bed, the framed photograph waited. Him, younger by 15 years, in a yellow hard hat and orange safety vest, a steel skeleton of a hotel rising behind him. His mouth not quite smiling, his eyes hard against the sun. "They made me stand there," he remembered. "Foreman, you have to be in the photo. This is your building." His building. So many windows, so many rooms. Now he pushed the blanket aside and sat up. The room swayed once, then steadied. He reached under his pillow and pulled out the black zipper pouch. The glucometer felt heavier than it was. In the dark, by memory, he pricked his finger. The strip drew in the bead of blood. The tiny machine thought. 2:41. He exhaled through his nose. Not quite a sigh. Wiped his finger on his undershirt. Slid the glucometer back under the pillow. Hanan didn't need to see numbers. He moved across the cracked tile to the kitchen. The refrigerator light stabbed his eyes. Lentil soup, fried eggplant. Hanan's pickles lined up in an old container. A row of dates. He took 3 dates, 2 pieces of flatbread, water. At the small table, plastic cloth cool under his forearms, he whispered into the empty room, "Bismillah." He chewed slowly. The hollow in his stomach felt less like hunger, more like an empty room. 4:02. Still time before Salatul Fajr. Back in the bedroom, Hanan lay on her side, scarf loose over her hair, hand tucked under her cheek. The lines around her mouth had deepened this last year. "Elias Mahna," he murmured. He dressed in the dark. Faded navy work trousers, thinning shirt, the good socks. From the wardrobe, he took the small black backpack. Once it had carried site plans and a thermos. Now it would carry rice, lentils, sugar, oil. He slung it over one shoulder, empty for now. Merciful. At the door, he paused, looking at Omar's scuffed sneakers and Lena's worn school flats. For a second, he imagined coffee stains, campus stairs. He shook the thought away. He stepped into the narrow stairwell, the concrete chipped at the edges. 3 flights down. In the dark, he did not touch the switch. He knew every step. By the first floor, his breath had deepened. By the ground, his knees ached, a familiar burn. He pushed the heavy metal door open. Cool night air met him. Jabal al-Widayb lay hushed, balconies dark, a cat slipping like a shadow along a wall. He pulled the door shut and started walking. Toward a job his family believed did not exist. By 8 o'clock, the hills had already taken their toll. From Waibda down toward downtown. From downtown in a beat-up service taxi out to Sahab, squeezed between strangers and yesterday's cigarette smoke. Now Tariq stood in the wide doorway of the warehouse, the air thick with dust, anise, and burlap. Young volunteers moved between stacks of boxes, clipboards, laughter, faint El Quran from a radio. "Abu Ammar," Khalil's voice rose above the noise. "Yella, you're early as usual." "Better than late," Tariq answered, the corner of his mouth twitching. Khalil, beard neat, smile quick, clapped his shoulder. "Wallah, if everyone was like you, I'd sleep at night." He checked his list. 16 packages today, same areas, Hussein, Wichtat, Nuzha, You know the route better than me now. Tariq nodded. Each stairwell was already etched into his calves. Khalil reached into a small cardboard box, pulled out a white envelope and held it between two fingers. Your wage, 7 dinars. The paper made a faint rustle in Tariq's hand, almost weightless, heavy anyway. He didn't open it. He knew its bones. 5, 1, 1, and a half in coin. Bread, onions, maybe tomatoes. Not dignity, but something he'd earned. Into the pocket. The fabric there was already polished smooth by envelopes. On the concrete floor, the charities boxes waited. Rice, sugar, oil, lentils, dates, tea. He loaded the backpack. 2 smaller parcels first, then a 5-kilogram sack of rice. The straps bit into his shoulders as he hoisted it on. The first days had left red lines. Now the skin was tougher, or just numb. A teenage volunteer hurried over with a 2-liter bottle of oil. Tafaddal, uncle. Khalid, 5 kids. They'll drink this like water. Another kilo, another hill. Tariq slid it into the side pocket without complaint. At the doorway, he paused. The Sahab Industrial District rumbled. Trucks, shouts, a stray dog trotting between cars. Heat already rising from the asphalt in wavering lines. He tightened the straps, felt the weight settle across his collarbones, then walked out into the sun. He climbed 3 flights back up to his own apartment just after El-Maghrib. The call to prayer already passed. Recitation drifted from open windows like threads. On the 3rd floor landing, he paused, letting his breath catch his body. His shirt clung damp to his back. His socks were wet. Each step had rubbed the soft skin raw. Inside, the smell of frying onions wrapped him like a blanket. Alhamdulillah ala salama, Hanan said from the stove, face shining in the yellow light, wooden spoon in hand. You're late? The engineer wanted the rebar checked twice. Tariq lied smoothly. He doesn't know his right hand from his left. The lie landed too easily, a groove in his tongue. Hanan's eyes narrowed for a heartbeat, then smoothed. Sit. Omar is getting the katayef from Mahmoud. You left pale this morning. You didn't eat enough sahur. I ate fine, he said. He slid the folded bills from the envelope onto the table. The half-dinar coin he palmed, keeping its thin weight. For today, small pay first week, he said. She wiped her hands before touching the money, then tucked it into the blue folder above the fridge, among gas and electricity bills. Alhamdulillah, she murmured. Lena burst from her room, leggings, long t-shirt, ponytail crooked. Baba, your cheeks are gone, she gasped theatrically. Soon we will see through you. He snorted, pulling her onto his lap. She squealed, but she weighed almost nothing. See, still strong, he said. You smell like the street and dust. Construction, he replied. Dust is part of the job. The site is far, huh? Her eyes searched his face, older than 15. Far enough, lots of hills, he said. You should tell them to build on flat land, she said. Who builds on hills? He laughed once. Engineers like to suffer. The key turned. Omar entered, a white box of kutayev balanced in his hand, hair damp as if he'd been running. Salam, Omar said. Mahmoud says, tell your father to stop disappearing. She made extra. I'm not disappearing, Tariq answered. Omar's daze flicked over him, calculating. You look tired, he said. You look more tired, group project, Tariq countered. Something like that, Omar replied, eyes slipping away. They broke their fast together. Dates, water, soup, simple salad. Katayev sizzling in the pan. Tariq ate with the hunger of a man who had poured himself out on concrete. After the tarawih, when the house was quiet, he sat alone in the living room. The television blinked with silent news. On the wall, the photo of him in the hard hat watched, more solid than the man beneath it. His legs throbbed, the half-dinar pressed against his thigh. He took it out, turned it in the light, then slid it into his wallet behind an expired health card. Something, anything, so his wallet wasn't empty. Tomorrow, he thought, Insha'Allah, there will be work again.
Next morning, the sky lightened from black to bruised blue as Tariq stood again at the warehouse doorway. A plastic fan whirred uselessly near Khalil's desk. We have double routes this week, Khalil said, swiping sweat from his forehead. More families. People wake up when the last 10 nights come. Everyone wants their reward multiplied. Tariq adjusted his empty backpack. His shoulders already ached, ghosts of yesterday's weight. So, more packages? He said. More packages. Khalil shuffled his papers. I can give some to the young guys, but they vanish when football starts on TV. You, he looked up, you're reliable. If you take an extra route, I can pay 10 dinars today. It's not much, but it's what we have. 10. 3 more than yesterday. 3 dinars. A bag of rice, bus fare for Omar, notebooks for Lena. 3 dinars was something. I'll take it, Tariq said, the answer coming before Khalil finished. Are you sure? Khalil frowned. You're fasting. It's hot. You're diabetic. I've worked in hotter, Tariq said. Aqaba, August, 40 degrees, pouring concrete. This is nothing. Khalil gave a reluctant smile. You old guys, wallah. Promise me, if you feel dizzy, you sit. You eat. You break your fast. Allah gave you rukhsa. Diabetics don't have to fast. It's Ramadan, Tariq said simply. It's also your life, Khalil muttered, then pressed the fatter envelope into his hand. 10. Don't make me regret it. By midday, the straps cut deeper than ever. Sweat ran down his spine, soaking his waistband. On the 3rd hill of Jabal al-Hussein, his tongue turned to paper. At Khalid's 5th floor door, she greeted him with children clinging to her skirt. Allah yajzik khair amo. The kids were asking if the box would come. It came, he said, lowering it with a quiet groan. Sit, drink water, tea, she urged. You're sweating like you swam here. I'm fasting, he replied. Save it for the children. Ramadan Kareem, Abu Tariq, he supplied. Ramadan Kareem, Abu Tariq. May Allah make your work heavy on your scale. Ameen, he said. By late afternoon in Nuza, his vision narrowed and whitened at the edges. In a deserted side street between 2 concrete walls, he slid down the warm stone, heart hammering. He unwrapped the 2 emergency dates from his backpack pocket with clumsy fingers, slipped them under his tongue. Ya Rab, he whispered. Just a little more. A boy's voice startled him. Uncle, are you okay? Tariq forced himself up, legs trembling. I'm fine, he said. Mafi mushkila. The boy ran off, ball under his arm. The package weighed 12 kilos. His pride, far more. He thought the question was whether his body could keep carrying it. He had not yet realized the real question was, what would happen when it finally couldn't?
You've been listening to Ramadan Miracles, a Noorsign Books original. Tariq's body is breaking, but his spirit refuses to bend. The steps keep coming, and so does the weight. But sometimes, the heaviest burdens are the ones we refuse to put down.